3 hours later, our scene begins in Rage Across New York, outside the Cub Caverns, as there is an agenda to be held here tonight by the person narrating this introduction right now. Me, Jacob Clay. Not at all the person you can see in a tiny, tiny slit at the top of the image. If you look very closely, you can see me moving. That's not me. Ignore the man behind the curtain. Focus on the lovely white wolf with guns, still fang guns, as he said, seen outside the Cub Caverns with a lovely little white wolf with a favor to ask, a lovely little favor. But I mean, how could you deny him? This adorable fluffy white wolf with a fluffy tail. If you notice on the overlay, the wolf's tail is actually rather fluffy, which I didn't notice until recently, but it's awfully convenient. Yes, this lovely, beautiful white wolf is heading towards the Cub Caverns.
And at one of the dens near the Cub Caverns, there is another white wolf, less silver white and more snow white, as not the Disney movie, by the way, because hell no. As Tlate is kind of lounging, her head on her front paws, that are kind of strangely seem like they've been smacked with giant rocks as they're kind of flattened out, and you can, if you look closely, you can see the webbing even in between her paws. And she is lying on the ground in front of her den and looks as she sees the other white wolf approaching. And quirks her head to the side.
Jacob looks delighted. Or as delighted as a wolf can look without baring their fangs and looking like a hideous animal.
Having his tongue out.
Happiness. Yeah, Jacob just says, "Oh, that's the person I was looking for."
And as he addresses her, she will politely roll over.
Nip, nip. Ruffle, ruffle, groom, groom. Finds out what you've been doing, when you've been going today, and who your friends are, and everything about your life and your deepest, darkest secrets.
Oh my. She'll roll back again. And kind of sits up at that point. Jacob Raya?
Yes. I had a... How have you been doing today? We're gonna say it's today in this scene now. Have imagination.
She thinks about it for a while. I have done my training. I have done my duties as keeper, and I have done my achievement.
He just kind of nods, says, "Interesting. Huh, never seen you in your form before." Kind of tilts his head, kind of like, "Ooh, this is what she looks like."
Tiny wolf.
Yes. Oh yeah, no, she's really tiny as well. So it's like he's kind of this giant. I mean, it's not like Stoneclaw levels of just like David versus Goliath. Like it's not a horse, but I mean, just looming over you. But it's still like a fairly big wolf looming over this teeny tiny wolf. This adorable little cuddly toy.
She'll wait for a couple of moments, and as Jacob doesn't say anything, how was your day, Jacob Raya? Seems something that she's quite unfamiliar of actually asking. Like, engaging in normal conversation is strange.
Much the same. Still, just, well, Fortunately, I didn't have to deal with anything significant of today at the station, so I was able to focus
Station?
mostly on the police station.
Oh, right, you have those here.
Yeah, no, I work as well, I have a desk job at the station, at the police station now, not as a patrol officer or anything. That'd be a bit awkward for people. But it allows me to keep in contact and stay in the loop as to human gatherings. So if anything crops up, I'm in a position to deal with it or notify people in charge if something goes down.
Right. Is it important?
Oh, pardon?
Is it important?
To me, I believe it. I know a lot of. It's a bit of a split opinion, depending on who you talk to. A lot of people thought I was never actually going to be able to get back into the force again because of my rage. I chose a job that would have me spending most of my time away from people, but give me enough interaction, enough paperwork that I still know what's going on. And it's pretty useful because a lot of what our enemy does often does tend to break the law. So being able to leverage that against them is serves as a useful weapon. It can also prevent people from falling into the worm's hands to begin with. Like a drug addict, you can catch them and send them back to, well, get them some help before they do themselves any more damage or worse.
Okay.
But yeah,
I
sorry.
think I understand, but I've been in the city once. So I don't know a whole lot about it yet, but it's a big place, so I guess you do need a lot of sheriffs, police.
He looks a little bit well, he gives he chuckles slightly and just says, yeah. Yeah, you do need a lot of sheriffs around. It's well, we're often understaffed. So
Where I can come from, Kinfolk lived in a town nearby. They had a sheriff, but he also visited other towns, so he was mostly away. Nothing really happens a lot for police there. Not like here.
yeah. Well, I guess the bigger or more complex something gets, the more room there are for. Well, it's easier to cover yourself because there are more people. And there's more room for imperfections in general in a complex plan system. So you get a greater volume of crime here. Not necessarily per person. Like, you know, if you were to, say, take a city of like, I don't know, a small town of like a few thousand people, and this city which has a few million people, there might be a higher rate of crime in the rural areas because, as you said, you know, sheriff only visits every now and then. It can get hard to enforce the law when there's only one of you walking around. But
yeah, I
it's
guess,
also noticeable. Yeah, it gets. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
So, I'm fairly lucky to have made all of this work as it is. I know a lot of Guru aren't so lucky as to be able to keep their former job or anything like that. I'm hoping I can work with my kinfolk in the police force and maybe find a way to help him out.
Nothing. Nod. It's like she doesn't completely seem to understand your story because she's just not accustomed to it, but
Yeah.
she gets the grasp of it.
She gets it. Yeah.
I know.
Close up. It's like, you know what? Close enough.
Yeah, exactly. I do think the sirens make a lot of noise, though.
Yeah.
Never heard a siren before.
Yeah, no, yeah, no, I can definitely see why it'd be startling. There's a reason they're so loud, though, obviously.
Yes, to tell people they're coming.
Yeah, because when you're driving down a busy street, you can't have anyone be in the way.
Yeah.
And they need to get to where they're going as fast as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's been a quiet day for me, so nothing too big, nothing too important, just filing petty theft and crap like that.
Mm-hmm.
Most of those people stealing chocolate bars from convenience stores, I don't get it. Like, you could just, it's like a quarter or something. You could just, like, it's not an impact on your financial situation. I don't know, people are greedy, I guess.
Maybe they want to practice their prowess.
Yeah, maybe if they were Guru, but I mean, I don't know. I've run into a few people like this before. Sometimes they're just kids who think they're being funny, and you just need to say, "Don't do this again." Set them straight, and they'll be fine. Like, trying to, overstepping perhaps their limits, and then thinking they know better than the rules. And then you've got people who, for some reason, just do it because, well, they're absolutely convinced they are better than everyone else, and that everyone around them is an enemy. Which is more sad than anything, because they're not doing themselves any favors. They're not helping themselves. They're not helping anyone around them. They're just kind of hurting themselves. Not that they'll be punished significantly for stealing a chocolate bar or anything. It's still a case of, why are you still stealing? It hasn't worked, and it's pointless. I mean, at least do me the credit of trying to stage something impressive. I mean, take it seriously. Don't steal crap like sweets.
I don't understand why people should steal at all. It doesn't make sense. And I understand that that's because I've seen a movie once, and I've seen a documentary on Chicago, and people live so different than what I'm used to. We take care of each other, and if your neighbor doesn't have fish, then you share. And if you don't have enough first, then they have, then they share it first. It doesn't make sense.
Mm. It's becoming a rare and rare thing nowadays. You still get it here. It's just harder to find. It's sad.
People here,
I mean,
they all want to just have things for themselves. They have so many things. Like in the thing of Chicago, there were people who had houses with 40 rooms while they live there with 2 people. Doesn't make sense. Why would you need 40 rooms if you're only going to use 4?
Some people have so much money that they don't know what to do with it. It's their money, I suppose, so they can do with it what they want. But, I mean, I've ran into a few desperate people sometimes who steal because they have no other choice. It's kind of a sad situation because at that point, arresting them's a favor because they need a one place to sleep. And you can't really help them. Well, I can't help them, really, because all I can do is enforce the law as it is. I can't really say, well, here's all this money that this other person has. That's not something that's within what I can do. Because there is enough to go around, it's just not distributed evenly.
No. Tlate, she's sitting and she's looking like she'd expected that in this kind of place. Like, I'm not even gonna roll subterfuge. She basically blames it on the culture.
Yeah, filthy. Filthy foreigners. Goddamn colonists.
I didn't want to say it! I made it twice!
Jacob is not even insulting because he doesn't really he's like, of course she expects this. She's from a completely different culture.
Yeah.
One of the most isolationist clans in the most isolationist tribe in the nation, of course. And he's not really surprised by this, and she's not saying anything about it, which she respects because she's not being a dick. Being by her standards nice.
Yes, and in general, she's not pushing people into. But yeah. Anyway, so yeah, she just gives that look and she shakes her head. It's like, but you can see some of the cups.
Yes, I came to ask a favor if that was okay. It's based in an area lacking, as you've probably been made aware of by my hapless attempt to practice a punishment, right?
I don't know punishment rites.
Oh no, don't worry. I wasn't expecting you to know any of those. That's somewhat specialised within my auspice. But well, I've been spending more time. I spend quite a bit of time in my wolf form. I'm trying to keep a balance of my two sides, which means I often go hunting. And I'm aware that there is a certain right to show respect for the creatures that are slain so that I might live. Unfortunately, I don't know it. And, well, and I am, might I say, even guilty about the fact that I have not been able to show my proper respects. I was hoping if you knew and that you might be able to teach me.
I've learned it, yes. Katori Raya taught me. I've never taught someone something before, but I can try.
I think it would be. I guess in a way, then it's a good learning experience for you as well.
I think so, yeah. So she looks around, a little bit uncomfortable, trying to see if there's like anyone around, and she realizes that there's not. Kind of that it relaxes her a little bit more. She scratches one ball with the other kind of awkwardly, and then looks at Jacob. So prayer for the prey is a small prayer to the spirit of the prey for giving its own life, so that we, or the guy performing it, may survive. It's a sign of respect to Gaia and to her children and to life. Basically, what you do is you, after you've killed, you step into the Umbra, and there you thank the spirit of the prey for, well, being the prey and having died for you, basically. It helps to appease the nature spirits in the area.
He... Oh, sorry.
No, go on.
He kind of nods in a contemplative fashion. He seems much calmer, and even, I'll put it, it's almost like a benevolent, or like kind/benevolent look on his face. Again, as however a wolf expresses these emotions.
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously it's not always that clean cut. But he says, I see. Is there a specific way the prayer is performed?
No, it's like, yeah, you can thank it for its meat and for it's like in where I come from, we thanked it for more than just meat because we use almost everything from a prey. I don't know how you do it here. Like, I mean, the fur was used for clothing and bones for cutlery or other utensils, and yeah, we didn't just thank it for its meat, but that would be a start. And you need to let your heart speak there in a prayer. You can't have, there's no right way of doing it because it comes from you and it comes from your heart. So you just have to let your heart speak.
How wonderfully simplistic. He does not say that sarcastically, as I sound.
She nods. It's the intention, not the words. If you're truly thankful of what it just gave up for you, then the words itself don't necessarily matter. The fact that you show your respect and understand that this is part of what we are and what they are. Like a prayer animal knows that it's a prayer, a prey. Sorry, prayer. Wow. Blah, 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 English. Yep. A prey animal knows that it's a prey and it's supposed to be. It knows its place in the circle, and we know our place in the circle, and we know that when we die, we once again bring food for those prey animals. So by praying, you show that you understand the place of the prey animal and yourself.
He nods a bit more eagerly this time. I see. That makes a lot of sense. I think I might go practice this when I'm hungry.
Mm-hmm. If you want to, we can hunt together at some point, and I can show you.
Yeah. You hungry now?
Sure.
You don't sound sure. Jesus.
I have eaten 6 hours ago, so I can eat, but I would normally wait a few hours, but I can eat now.
Hmm.
We can hunt rabbits.
Whichever you prefer. I know how to hunt all kinds of game, actually. Stoneclaw taught me how to fish some time ago as well.
Fishing is easy.
I feel a bit sad. Sometimes it's a bit too easy. Would you like to go fishing then?
Okay. Sure. She'll stand up and wait for the elder to set the pace, set the direction.
Yeah. Solifying leads. You like kind of pause with his paw, which is probably a little. It's still probably a little big for a little tiny Tlate because she's tiny. Kind of playfully, and then he'll stand up on his forelegs. He's kind of just been laying down, or rather, like sitting down, like kind of just all strung out, like on his belly. It's kind of while this conversation has been going on, kind of relaxed. His furry coat protecting him from the deadly New York winter. As he'll lead her to the nearest lake, which is probably pretty cold. I don't know how cold New York gets. I presume it gets pretty cold.
Yeah, I know that the scene I was in yesterday, that I can check the weather, and it was like lightly snowing, so it is probably cold.
It's, yeah, the lake's probably even kind of freezing over. And this kind of presents Jacob with a bit of a problem as he begins basically breaking up the ice.
Let's see what the weather forecast is in New York.
We have a teeny tiny bit of snow for a teeny tiny Wendigo to play in. Because if teeny tiny Wendigo gets caught in a blizzard, she'll be blown away.
Oh no, it's not too bad. It's like during the day it was 7 degrees Celsius.
Okay.
So it's not too bad, really.
Yeah, no, it hasn't frozen over. It's just maybe it's like there's still some ice that just needs a bit of breaking up. That's just melting already and thinning, but Jacob just speeds it up real briefly, which scares the fish briefly, but he knows they're going to come back because no one can resist Jacob Clay.
Well, he's doing that. Latine is actually sinking down into her hermit form slowly. She has quite a different way of hunting fish than the rest of the Garou have. And she starts to undress until she has nothing but her underwear on. And she would step into the lake.
Jacob, being a gentleman, will look away as she gets undressed because he's a very polite lad.
Which is really confusing to her.
He's just like busy breaking up the ice, so he kind of just tries to ignore well, I mean she's supposed to be cold, but she's so hot.
Wow.
God, this is like.
Hey, she's a Wendigo. I mean, she lived in the northern parts of Canada. 7 degrees. It's not that cold.
Now we know how they keep themselves warm. It's just like sheer sexy. Wow, I didn't know you were like that, Tlate.
Damn.
Damn. I mean, at least these buns are gonna be used for something better. But back back to reality and
Yeah.
not the incredibly crude thoughts of
Cheesy.
a 21-year-old. Uh, Jacob is busy breaking up the ice and then kind of sees her swim into the lake. And is initially a little bit concerned because it's still 7 degrees. The water's probably freezing. So he kind of looks a bit but considering she seems to be like chill about it. Ah, he
The word puns.
I mean, Jacob is made of dad jokes, so he will get in the lake with her and kind of observes her. Like, I mean, he'll do his own thing of just remaining still and allowing the fish to kind of forget that he's there. It's the literal memory span of a goldfish logic that
Yeah.
Stoneclaw taught him, and they'll begin
Mhm.
swimming around him, allowing him to and I'll just make the roll for it. I mean, gets pretty big fish. I mean, it's a
Nice.
very big fish. No, it's a fairly large fish. He
And
picks out.
I just made the Dex Athletics roll to
Yeah, you get
swim.
one as well. You get a fairly
And
large fish.
yeah, what Jacob can actually notice is that she is literally like a fish in the water. She barely makes any wrinkles as she's swimming. Very smooth. And within a lot faster than one might expect, she also holds a fish in her hands. It's still kind of like um, moving its body back and forth as she holds it above the water, waiting for it to either die or until she can actually reach the shore and smack it on the on one of the stones that's there. There we go.
Yeah, Jacob's kind of got a fish in his jaws, and then kind of just like takes it out of his mouth with his paws and keeps it held to the ground, and he kind of loses a bit of focus on his original task for a moment by saying, I've never seen anyone hunt like that before. Innovative."
She'll just hold up her hand as she now can very clearly see as she spreads her fingers out that there is webbing, like almost fish or frog like webbing in between her hands. Helps with swimming, not with walking.
What does a webbing look like? Like frog? You say
Um,
frog-like. Is it like on her overlay?
oh,
Is it literally the color of her skin,
yeah,
or
yeah. It's literally the color of skin. It's like a very soft or thin layer of kind of leathery-ish skin. More like a seal, I guess. She would give it a name.
yeah? Oh god, imagine if she got that name. Selkie. Huh. He just kind of looks at it almost in wonderment for a moment, as if he finds it very it's like curiosity. He says,
Mm.
"Oh,
And like she's holding her hand up for like a second as she explains it, and then she puts it down again because it's still very awkward for her to like
yeah,
point out
it's
her metaphor.
yeah, it's I have to admit, that's kind of pretty."
Mm, it's not pretty, but it comes in handy when swimming.
Yeah,
She
no,
starts to dress herself back up
turning it
again.
into a strength. I like it.
Mm. It's also um, it's more difficult to walk and on 4 legs. It's more difficult.
You're not having trouble walking around on in lupus form, are you?
It's more difficult to keep my balance. I slip away fast because of this.
Okay. Maybe when I'm a bit more athletic myself, I might try and help you with that. But yeah, he just says when he's a bit more athletic himself, he'll try and help with that.
She's not gonna comment on that as she just kind of pulls her dress, the tunic, kind of pulls it over her head, and then she pulls her hair out. And it's wet and everything, and just lets it fall back on the clothing. She looks at him and is like, "Okay, now you want to step sideways now?"
Difficulty's like 4. Please don't fail this roll. Yay! I'm great. He steps sideways.
Yep.
Pretty quickly. Is it 3 successes? Oh, they step forward at about the same time, the same rate. So it's about 3 successes is a minute or something?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like a minute, and 4 successes is like 30 seconds or something, or a turn, and then 5 successes is instantaneous. Yeah, so yeah, takes a few seconds to hop on over, and yeah, he steps sideways, kind of sits up straight, almost.
She steps sideways as well, like a second after him. She will look at the umbral side of the lake. Then sits down, like legs crossed in front of her, and she puts her hands on the grass, and she does her prayer, and she's gonna make something up on the spot. This is dear Mother Gaia. We want to thank you for the fish in the lake, and we hope that they will bring us sustenance. Dear fish, thank you for giving us your meat so that we can once again live to fight for Gaia another day. And she ends her prayer and looks at Jacob expectantly.
Mm-hmm. Jacob, however, is not so interesting that he's not so grandiose. Perhaps simply kind of looking up towards the sky where Helios and lunar rain, and looking back towards the ground that is Gaia, the fish that is part of Gaia, and just kind of mutters out 2 words. Thank you.
She looks kind of quizzical, but as you said, it's the intention that counts,
The
not
intention.
necessarily the words.
It's definitely like actually kind of heart-filled, and that it's genuinely like, it's almost like it's said with love to an extent. It's obviously not. It's obviously slightly awkward in the sense that this is his first time doing this.
Yeah,
It took him a moment to figure out what he even wanted to say, whether he wanted to make a speech, but he just says thank you.
She'll nod. It's like you don't need to speak the words out loud. You can. I just did it now, so you could hear what I say and what I think. But usually I just keep it to myself.
Yeah, I just felt it needs to be said, at least on my end. Is there a roll Jacob should make?
No.
Oh.
Well, to learn it, of course.
Yeah, we'll see. In that moment, I will have him spend a willpower and make a ritual roll. Difficulty is?
Difficulty is 10 minus your...
Intelligence, right?
I thought wits, but intelligence could also be true.
Let me just check real fast. Man, I gotta go searching on the forums. Yay! Let me go find it real fast.
But
I'll be right back.
you spend the willpower. It's fine.
It's just what if I roll out of ones, then it won't matter. that's the one reason.
Willpower is not a success.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, if I roll enough ones that it cancels out the willpower, then here we go. I think I put it. Unless I'm wrong, unless I'm being stupid. Yeah, idiot.
No, I mean, I 9 out of 10 times I just have the same wits and intelligence rating, so I'm like, yeah, it doesn't really matter for me, but it can matter.
Okay, yeah, I'm just looking for stuff on minor rites because it talks about. Because I think minor rites are easier, right?
No, the difficulty is still the same, but because of your rituals rating, you can only learn a certain level of rites.
Okay. Yeah, no, I know that part. I was just wondering, I think, and you learn minor rites more quickly, so that's fine. Yeah, no, I'll just roll it anyway. It's fine. He's great. He's lovely. No, the ritual begins to carry, the rite begins to carry some level of weight. Probably it's his first prayer for the prey. It's not perfect. It doesn't bear the same perhaps weight spiritually as with Tlate's, but it's it's successful. It's definitely a prayer that seems to draw the appeasement of the animal spirits involved.
But you don't need to roll every time you practice the rite. It's just you need to do it every time you. Wait, I can explain this in character. She nods as she sees Jacob performing the rite, and she's like, "Well, if you do this every time you kill an animal or a creature, except for Weremish creatures, then the nature spirits will look favorably upon you, and it's easier to talk to them and get things done from them."
I see. Well, I hope they appreciated it.
I think they will. Like I said, it's the intention and knowing your place and understanding what needs to be done. The prey understands it. We need to understand as well. We need to not be excessive in our killing, because if you do that and you just kill 10 fishes today that you can't eat and no one can eat, then they will waste, and that is bad.
I suppose in that case, I should not let this fish go to waste.
No, you should eat it.
Yeah, as soon as he says that, like, he kind of like, yeah, you should eat. No, he's already there. He's literally like, kind of gouges steps. I mean, it's one of the bigger fishes in the lake, but it's not. It's still a lake fish. It's not huge by any stretch of the imagination. It's devoured pretty quickly. In the fairly cold city, fairly cold day of in New York City, as he says, Thank you. This means a lot. Is there anything you'd like for me to do for you in return? It's only fitting. You taught me a rite. I should probably do something for you as well.
No. I don't know anything, really.
Oh. Think on it.
Maybe later. But now, I'm good.
Hey, yeah, if you need a favor, I'm always here.
Okay. She nods and starts crossing back to the Tellurian side.
Yep. Same with Jacob begins to shift on back over. Tlate is still very wet, right? So her clothes are now really wet, right?
Well, she was wet, but her clothes weren't really. But yeah, probably. I don't
Clothes are
know.
wet now, yeah, because she's like, I just got out of the lake. I'm just gonna put these clothes on. Oops. Uh-oh. He just kind of, Jacob just kind of looks at her and kind of wet clothes. And it's like, oh, he's kind of thinking, oh no, why did she do that? She's ruining her lovely dress. That's Strider's bot best for you, damn it.
She's used to it, so for her it's kind of like normal. But yeah, I guess we can end the scene there.
Yes, as they probably head both back on over to the den and share some developing small talk that's perhaps, for once, not so awkward. Progress, ladies and gentlemen.
I think small talk with Latin is always kind of awkward.
Oh no! Jacob thinks she's great. She's adorable. Yeah. She's a very nice person. That Jacob thinks is very nice. Totally tautological, and that is how we end this with awkward small talk and tautologies. Thank you, whoever playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. We'll see you next time. Another episode of Awkward Across New York.